Hey y'all. So it's been a while since I've posted. Life has been life, and life has been lifing like it always does. But I created this platform, like all the platforms for Crystal Life Experience, to discuss grief and to discuss the process of all the different things that we go through as we process grief. Um, this would be year 6 for my sister's passing. It's gotten to the point now where there's not really very many months in the year where there's not something to prepare yourself for, get yourself together for, be aware of, mind yourself around a date. Try not to be too over emotional. Try not to be too sensitive in certain situations, because at the end of the day, everybody got something going on. So why be overly sensitive to mine? Tomorrow, today, my sister went to the hospital, and it starts this downward slope of her health, which was extremely difficult. So I'm on a couple of different platforms. So I'm gonna kind of tell the story a little bit to those, for those who actually already know the story. Yeah, ride with us. So my sister was 6 months pregnant with my nephew, and went into the hospital because she wasn't feeling well. She was extremely tired, extremely swollen, and she had gone to the called her doctor's office multiple times, expressing to them that she wasn't feeling well. She went to the hospital. They kept her, only to find out that she had already began the stages of say the word, shoot. If I was not trying to say the word, I could say it. But preeclampsia, which, if not treated, if I'm correct, you know, those of you who can correct me, but if it's not treated, then you go into what's called the HELP syndrome, which then is in turn turned into DIC, which basically is your blood pressure is so high that now your blood vessel, not your blood pressure, blood platelets cannot, your organs cannot process properly. Correct, wrong, not, whatever. Either way, these things can happen really quickly in pregnancies, and they're supposedly to be found by our doctors through their urine. So please believe, when you are pregnant and you are not feeling well, please go to the doctor. Don't sit on it. Anyway, tomorrow is the 17th. It's the day she went to the doctor. She went to the hospital. Well, she went to the doctor, but then she went to the hospital. And they kept her. For many different reasons. I hadn't talked to my sister in like 2 years. Long story short, life be life. I got a phone call and was told, hey, is this sick? We really believe you need to go check on her. You need to go see about her. And I prayed about it, and I went. And I didn't go till the 19th. So my journey on grieving starts really way before today, because that's another story. But this process of her passing started tomorrow. She went to the hospital and she never came out. In the hospital on May 17th, 2019, and she never saw her house again. She stayed in the hospital. We went to see her on the 19th. On the 22nd, she her blood pressure spiked. She began to have complications, and they went ahead and delivered my nephew on the 22nd. On the 22nd, she was put into a forced coma to keep her keep her blood pressure down. Mr. Man came out strong and happy. Good boy, sweet man. He's such a sweet baby. He's a very, very good kid. Very good kid. She never met him. She never had an opportunity to meet her son. She only got to see him over FaceTime. Or no, actually the NICU cam. She got to see him over the NICU cam. We all had an opportunity to get onto the cam and get to see him and watch him as he was in the NICU. We were a very rambunctious bunch, because if there was any time that camera was not on, you want to talk about people who are calling the nurse's desk? Oh my God, I know we got on their nerves, honey. We got on their last nerves, but we didn't care. His mama was gone, so his mama was sick, so we had to make sure that what she would have done, we did. So we made sure the person was well. We made sure he was good. We made sure they were doing everything. I went up every day. I was there from 22nd till the 27th. On the 27th, throughout this process, she had multiple things that went on. She had vigorous dialysis. They tried to figure out what was going on. Over the years, I have found out so many things that I did not know, because there were times when I was not allowed to be in the room or a part of the process. So, from what I understand, her platelets kept dropping so low. And I don't feel like dealing with the numbers of all of that, because I know I can't. I'm not gonna try to even play around with the truth about the numbers about platelets. But she platelets kept dropping, and we went around, and the community came together, and the family, the community, everybody came together to go and give blood, make sure that the blood banks had enough blood that was compatible for her and her platelets, and whatever it is that she needed, whatever the baby needed, whoever needed it, we made sure that if they were a compatible, they were a match. They went, even with all the fears that people have surrounding around giving blood. Everybody went. Well, anyway, long story short, that did not work. Platelets kept dropping. They said they needed to do a platelet transplant. So she was off to. The doctors came in and said, we got to get her out of here, because there's nowhere here that can do it. So we got to get out of here. Sent her down to New Orleans. I've even found out more about that, about the helicopter ride. that there were some things that went on the helicopter ride where they had to stop over in Baton Rouge. And as it stopped over in Baton Rouge, there was some things that were done that were not. Anyway, they had to stop for gas in the helicopter. The medical helicopter had to stop for gas. The medical helicopter from Monroe had to stop for gas while they had my sister, my baby. See, our mother passed away when I was 20. So she was 7 years younger than me. So she was 13. So she was my baby. Well, she was my baby anyway because I was 7 when she got here. So she was like a baby doll to me. She ended up unconscious on the plane, on the helicopter. So by the time I made it to New Orleans, she was unconscious and basically waiting for us to make it. And we had no idea. My dad and I were in a vehicle heading to New Orleans, preparing to stay for 7 days. We were told that we had to do at least 5 to 7 days for a platelet transplant, replacement, something. Please don't come after me in the comments medically because I don't know. Today is an emotional day and I just wanted to have this conversation. So I'm doing the best I can with what I got. So don't come for me, please. Anyway, we get to New Orleans, and as we were walking across the park, we get in the garage. There's a lot of things that happened on our way there. We actually found out one of our other younger cousins passed away that day. The same day, we had a cousin pass away from a seizure at home. So, back at home, while we were on our way to check on her, our cousin passed of a seizure. So we got that phone call on our way down. We get there, we get another phone call that we needed to run in because she had coded 3 times. This was her 3rd time coding. We had not gotten any phone calls, any messages. We didn't know anything about this. Nobody had said anything. So we run in to pure chaos. Pure chaos. Pure chaos. Pure chaos. What do I remember? That day, I remember walking in and, well, no, actually we were running in and they already knew. The people at the desk already knew we were coming. I don't know. They must have told them. I don't know how I work at the hospital, but they knew that we should be walking through that door anytime, any moment. And so the ladies told us exactly where to go. And as we were on our way, we get another phone call that says that my dad needed to get permission for them to break her rib, be able to do CPR to the point of being able to break her ribs. And her, whatever. And they said, and I'm trying to tell him, Daddy say yes. Daddy say yes. He doesn't know what I'm saying because I'm telling them yes, and they said, well, they needed to hear it from my father. So he said yes. By the time we make it upstairs, there is a whole crew standing around my sister's bed. There are people working on her. She's literally, there's the shock cards. It's beeping. It's bad. And pretty much midway through They made me go sit down. I got into it with a security guard because the lady kept pulling on me, and I told her to get her hands off me. Because don't touch people while they in the midst of that moment. They don't know you. They don't even know where they at. Anyway, if you know me, you know I get into little people and don't have a problem with it. I mean, you know, within reason. So she I don't even remember how I got on the phone with my cousins. I don't remember when we got on the phone. I don't remember we ever got off the phone. I can't remember. But all I know is I hear somebody screaming in my ear. My cousin screaming in my ear because they didn't want me to get sick. And so I have cried. I'm on the floor. I'm screaming because I'm like, no, this is not happening. I felt it when I was in the elevator. When the lady asked my dad, he asked my dad. Well, she asked my dad. I already knew what we were dealing with. So I had already had a mini break in the elevator. So to get upstairs and for them to do and go as far and as hard as they went was tough for me. It was really tough for me. I went and I saw them on top of her. I saw them do the paddles, her coming up off the bed. I saw it all. What do I remember? Her toenails. She had her feet done. They were French manicured, ma'am. Gorgeous, pretty. I'm one of those people. I remember very different things about people. Like I'll forever remember her hands. She had one finger. She had closed the door on her hand when she was little, and one of her fingernails would never grow back right. So all our lives, I've always known that, you know. And they had different family members who had different things. Like a grandfather and grandmother had a finger that had been cut off. So those little things I just remember. I'm just real bad about that. Well, anyway, they made me go sit down. When I go sit down, this nurse comes over. Very sweet woman. Today, I wish I could find her. I would tell her thank you. But she said something that will never. It's a part of my DNA now. She said, "Ma'am, I am so sorry for your loss. Would you like a lock of my patient's hair? I need to prepare my patient for the morgue." I said, "What? What did you say?" I understand that she has a baby and that, do you want her wristband and a lock of her hair? I said, "Why?" Now, mind you, I heard all the beep and stop. I watched some people come out their room. I did. I saw it all. I was right there. I paid attention. I was right there. I saw it. But until I went back in their room, and I knew once I looked over my aunt's shoulder, I had to get on it because I'm a baby now. I'm a big baby. I'm a scary cat. Now, hold on now. I can talk a lot of crap, but I'm scary. Scary at certain things. Some doggone snakes and dead people, baby. They take me out. Graves, dead people, and snakes. Baby. No good. I leaned over my aunt's shoulder, and my aunt was just rubbing my sister's head and talking to her, telling her it was okay. And in my spirit, I just was not ready. Y'all, you ain't never ready. I don't care what nobody say, you're never ready. I leaned over my aunt's shoulder, and when I looked in my sister's eyes, she was no longer there. And that's all I needed. So tomorrow starts a journey that I took in 2019. And don't get it too. I'm not one of those that just, you can't get, you gotta move. I move on. I understand. I love hard. I love really hard. But sometimes you cannot deny fact. The fact is, she was gone. The fact is, she was gone. She was gone. And her son no longer had a mother. We had just pulled into New Orleans, literally like at 7 something. And I got the parking garage. I still have all of this stuff, like, still. I have the little thing for the parking garage. And we pulled in at 7. I believe we were on our way back by 7:50. Would our lives changed? Less than 1 hour.